Hello, everybody on YouTube and all the NHL fans out there from the United States and Canada, and of course, all the Bruins fans around the country in Canada and around Canada if there's Bruins fans out there. This is Andrew Warren, back here once again, giving you my thoughts for the Boston Bruins season for the 2016-2017 NHL season. Yep, the NHL season kicks off tonight, and the Bruins are going to be kicking off the Columbus Blue Jackets tonight. So, further ado about that, last year, as a result, like we did a couple years ago, tried to sneak into the playoffs, but we got booted out from the Ottawa Senators, which, of course, Gio knows is probably happy about that from last year. But the year before, we got kicked out by Tampa Bay, so we had back-to-back chokes. I should say back-to-back for that. So I hope this year's not going to happen, but I'm hoping not for the sake of it. But I'll get to reasons when I'm a little worried about it shortly. I'm a little worried about the season. I'm going to get to that point right now. So, anyways, what we signed to improve this offseason, well, try to at least, was David Beckles, I believe his last name is, who signed 5 years, $30 million, who spent most of it, his first 10 years as a St. Louis Blues as the captain, including the last 5 years for them. But I think that the reason why the Bruins signed him for was trying to replace the Zdeno Chara, which I got the T-shirt on right now. You can tell that's the C logo. But anyways, the thing about it is, I think the reason why they signed him, I think he's going to be our next captain when Zdeno Chara goes. I think that's what's going to happen. But personally, I would have gone with Patrice Bergeron because he's been there the longest out of the 10 we have right now. But that's another thing about tonight, though, is Bergeron, Miller, and McQuaid all out for the game for the Columbus Blue Jackets. All three of them got hurt, which I think it was probably some preseason. But I think one of them got hurt during the World Cup, I think. But all I know is all Bruins scored for the Canadians in the finals for that. But that's not what I'm talking about. But the thing is about David Beckles, he's a right winger from the Blues. He was the captain over there, and I think he's going to be our next captain because of that signing. Because he was the captain for them for the last 5 years, and he was probably one of their biggest stars they got. But now TJ Oshie being gone, now I think the St. Louis Blues are just packing it in and starting over again. But anyways, that's the Blues. But for the Beckles signing, it's a right winger. He's a great shooter too. He can shoot, but something that's a really interesting move that I think they can definitely improve the team, but it's something a stepping stone for that though. But it could help it could help us in the long run especially after losing the big three stars we lost this offseason. So anyways, then we had a backup goalie who we signed for $2.4 million, and it was Eitan Kurupon from Russia, who was originally drafted from the Minnesota Wild, but he was on teams back and forth, though, I think. I think he went to Montreal, if I'm not mistaken. But anyways, he's going to be our backup for Tuukka Rask. But I'm only thinking, if you sign him for $2.4 million, don't you think he's going to be like our starting goaltender or something? And that's the thing I've been looking forward to, too. I'm getting sick and tired of Tuukka Rask anyway. Well, I'm sick and tired of defending him, so I gotta do something, At this point, though, at the same time, mostly it's not Tuukka Rask's fault, because he doesn't have defenseman help, which that's problem with there, which I will get to that. And, the backup goalie for Anton Kulabon from Russia, who we got which he went 19-8-3 overall in the minors for Minnesota. But I think overall that last year, I think, in the minors. But then we signed him for $2.4 million? I mean, what the hell is he going to do for $2.4 million and sit on the bench if Tuukka Rask is going to be your starter? That's a question I have for that, though. But some people from the Boston Bruins fans that I talked to want to get rid of Rask, but I keep telling them it's mostly not his fault, though. We don't have defensive players. which I will get to that one shortly. We did, I believe we signed somebody for a defenseman. And what the case scenario is, though, that if you're going to need a backup goaltender, I'm not sure if you want to sign $2.4 million. I don't know what the Cam Neely and Jeremy Jacobs were thinking about that, and Don Sweeney, too. I don't know what were they thinking. But I'm thinking to myself, $2.4 million. And he's going to be sitting on the bench. I'm like shaking myself with this. I mean, I thought we were going to get rid of Rask and get a decent goaltender, but I guess we got a backup goaltender in return, though, who did really well in the minors, but this is the pro level, though. I was looking for someone who's been in the pro success for a little while, but instead of signing somebody in the AHL. But anyways, 19-8-3 overall from this year, though. It's not that bad, but for a backup. But after all, it's going to be a little difficult thing going to the NHL routes, though. But I don't know. But this could work out. This could not be work out. I don't know what he did with the AHL playoffs, if the Minnesota Wild minor league club went in the playoffs for that or not. But all I know is the Providence Bruins, I think they won one year, I think, or something like that. I don't know if it was, I forget if it was around this time, 1 year or something like that. They went to the finals and lost or something like that. Or anyway, but that's not the point. But the point is, we signed somebody for $2.4 million for sitting on the bench, though. I don't know what they could do at this point, though. If you're going to sign $2.4 million, go sign a starting goaltender. I mean, don't give him $2.4 million sitting on the bench. So, anyways, that's my take on that one. But after all, it could be a good role after all, though. Maybe he'll turn really well. Maybe he'll be replacing Tuukka Rask. I don't know. Just like when Tom Brady replaced Drew Bledsoe. In that point. Maybe that could be the thinking. I have no idea. But anyways, for Anton Kolabalin, for the backup goaltender, it's a nice payday for him. Very nice payday. But anyways, Riley Nash from the Carolina Hurricanes, who is a forward, we signed him for 2 years for $1.8 million this offseason, though, which he's a very good forward, though. I've seen him play for Carolina in the past, but he was okay. He was decent, and after all, but all in all, though, but I don't know if this is a forward that we desperately needed, though. But it could work out. It could, but, I don't really know. But, it's a long shot for this. This one could work or maybe not. It's on the defense, though, at this point, though. But the thing about the NHL offseason, though, it's not like baseball or football. They want big bucks. All from the NHL, they get I think they get to sign the lowest of the lowest in them. They don't get that much signings or anything like that. So that's what I like about the NHL mostly. Some players don't care. They just want to play hockey, but signing over like less than 900,000 or maybe more than that, it's really crazy. But except for the David Beckus signing for 5 years for $30 million, though. I mean, that's a good payday too. But anyways, back to the Riley Nash stuff. A very good forward for Carolina, which I've seen in the past. He was really decent in a few games, but maybe this could work, maybe it could not. The problem is we had a hard time shooting, though, but that wasn't our only problem from last year, though. But this could help out in the shooting game, though, and if they can try to do that. So, anyways, so that's what I take about it, though, for that one. But Tim Scaliger from the Sabres, this one is a interesting signing because he signed 1 year for $900,000, which I did see him play in college, though. He played in a private college. I didn't see him live, but I've seen him on the internets and stuff like that. But I did see him. They all talked about him for a private college called Providence College, which it was a very private college, though. And, I think he was a left ringer. I think he was drafted by Buffalo, and then he left and got signed with the Bruins recently. So this one is a questionable, in which it's probably the reason why, because he's a New Englander, because he's from Merrimack, New Hampshire. So I think that probably why they signed him. Maybe they want to try something out with him. So I don't know. This pop could work or could work not. I don't know what they're gonna do with him, but you know, ugh. So yeah. So that's a good sign for a home team. For if you want a homer guy, that's probably something they're probably thinking of. So I don't know what he's gonna do. They're probably gonna send him to the minors or something like that. And anyways, to the one I actually like though, who just got recently, Dominic Moore from the Rangers, a veteran who's been on and off from teams. I think he went to Tampa. He took Tampa and went all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals one year, and they lost to my Bruins in the 2011 season for the Stanley Cup playoffs, and my Bruins ended up winning it in the Cup anyway that year. But he actually took the New York Rangers his first year prior. He was a big factor for them, and actually takes them to the Stanley Cup Finals and losing to the LA Kings that year. So he can show some stuff that he can win and stuff like that. But the only thing about it though is he can help like younger teams though and gets into the playoffs and push them further. I mean, that's probably a good reason why they signed him. I think they signed him for 2 years or $900,000 or something like that. Well, something like that. But anyways, a veteran thing that's desperately we needed bad is because we desperately needed a veteran leader because we never really had much of a veteran leader besides Zdeno Chara, which if we need some veteran experience, though, we need more veteran players. And I think this is the guy you really want. So if we want to get back into the playoffs, I think this is the guy to do it. So I think this is a really good signing for the Bruins, and he's a center, a center from the Bruins too. So this could help us out in the center game when we drop the puck. So which is later tonight. So maybe that you could work out, and maybe not. So we've seen crazier things happen. So so that's what I feel about it. So I think he signed 1 year, 2 years, or 600,000, 900,000, something like that. So yeah, this could definitely work out. So for Dominic Moore, so probably the reason why we got him because of the how he rolled in the 2011 Stanley Cup playoffs and then all the playoff runs from the New York Rangers recently. So that's probably why we got him. So I can definitely understand why the Bruins wanted to sign him for that. And the one we were hoping for really badly is was a defenseman, which we desperately needed a defenseman to help us out, and especially helping us Zdeno Chara because he can't do it alone, and he's getting old. So that's the only problem we got. And we got Alex Grant to come in from the Arizona Coyotes for $600,000 for 1 year or so, or something like that. But $600,000 for signing Alex Grant, a defenseman, which we desperately needed defenseman so bad. And then, I mean, this could help us out or not, because that was the thing that killed us the last couple of years is we didn't have any defensemen. That was a problem for us. So if we want to get back into the playoffs, you need to go to get a defense route for that, and I think Alex Grant was a good pick for that, but I think we could have gone with there were better players out there, I think, but other than that though, Alex Grant could be the guy to help us out to get back into that playoff push we needed. So yeah, that's who we got as we signed. My only issues right now is that, like I said earlier, was Miller, Bergeron, and Miller out. That's a triple whammy right there. 3 of your best shooters are all out for this game against Columbus tonight. So I think we could beat Columbus tonight because Columbus really does suck bad. So I don't even know how the hell they got an NHL in ranks right now, and I don't even know how they still getting fans in the fan base or anything like that, because they only been to the playoffs just once in the years of existence. So I don't know how the hell this happened. They're pretty much like the Cleveland Browns in the NFL right now. I'm pretty much a laughingstock. So that's how I feel about it. Or signing up. But anyways, that's how I feel about it right now. So about the game tonight. But around who we lost in the off season though really killed me the most was Dennis Seidenberg, who left I believe it went to I think it was I'm trying to think where he went to. I know he left. I thought it was Edmonton or something like that. I think it was around Canada. I think it was Edmonton, back where Peter Chiarelli is, or maybe Vancouver or something like that. I thought it was somewhere around one of the Canadian teams out there. So, which that really losing Dennis Seidenberg was a big blow for us because he was one of our best shooters besides Bergeron and Miller and McQuaid, but we have now. But losing Seidenberg is a big blow for that, you know. And losing Chris Kelly was one of them too. Signed 1 year for $900,000 over with the New York Islanders. And then that's another thing. That's the second player, maybe the third player that the Islanders took away from my Bruins, starting off with Johnny Boychuk, and that one killed it the most. That started all off for those back-to-back losses, and losing back-to-back no playoffs for us last year, which was started off with the Johnny Boychuk trade or signing, whatever it was. So then, the other one was Louis Eriksson. That was really, really heartbreaking for that. I really liked Louis Eriksson when we had last year, the last couple of years or so. He was starting to be really good, and he went on the Vancouver Canucks, 6 years, $36 million. So those are the three keys that we lost in the offseason, but we had to sign a lot to replace those guys really bad, which I just mentioned recently with David Beckles, Riley Nash, and Tom Scollander, and Dominic Moore, and Alex Grant. So, yeah, so all in all, do I really think the Bruins are going to get back in the playoffs? Possibly. Are they going to get the division? I don't think so. Do I think they're going to make it as a wild card? Definitely, maybe, if hoping so. So, anyways, that's what I feel about the Bruins right now. I hope you enjoyed my little segment for the my thoughts about the Boston Bruins. I really do think they're going to pull it off as a wild card team, which I'm hoping they try to at least get it. But the one that kills it is defensemen. We needed a bunch of defensive players to help us out to really get back in the playoff shape. They didn't do that. They got one, which Alex Grant. We should have signed more of it. If we would have signed more defensemen, we probably would have been. I would have been more confident about it. But unfortunately, it turned out to be that way. So, anyways, that's my take for the thoughts on the Boston Bruins season. Hope I see you all again soon. And until then, this is Andrew Warren. Rock out.